making sure we're all in the shot there.
Are we on the shot? Should I
Yeah,
move
no,
over?
you're good. I was looking
That's
at
why I sat in the middle. That's just why I picked this chair.
all the attention on
So
me.
anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm in it.
Welcome back to the same episode I just filmed without sound. So we're doing take 2 with the Stone Sisters here. So would you guys introduce yourselves for those who don't know you / couldn't hear in the first go through?
So I'm Tamara Stone.
And I'm Shannon Stone, and we brand together, and we're the Stone Sisters from Remax Kelowna.
Nice. So normally we introduce what we're drinking and then open it, but as you can see, we're already well into our drinks.
I do just want to show this though, because this is the coolest beer can I've ever seen. So it's AGD, Big Rock Brewery, but it's like a can of soup. It's
Yeah, it's
just a little
pretty
promo
good.
for them. I like that.
So we have actually had a couple times where the people have reached out to us to thank us for the promo for the beers. Yeah,
that's pretty
Sometimes
neat.
we'll tag them in it.
You have to mention yours.
Yeah,
because
you
this
do
one's
have to. I think you should tag these guys, the Three Sisters Pale Ale. I mean, that is a really cool can. It's by Grizzly Paw Brewing Company, and we have another sister. So Three Sisters, it's kind of neat. That's why I had to have this.
Went to a wedding at the base of the Three Sisters. My friend got married there. It
Oh,
was pretty fun.
we should bring Tiffany here.
And
It would be neat to have the Three Sisters.
And go to that.
Yeah, there's a great restaurant over. You get a patio overlooking
Really?
the Three Sisters. It's perfect.
Wow.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, things like the Iron Goat or something.
Oh,
it's good.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been in business?
So Tamara's been selling for
a
20
long time. Okay, we just leave it in. Because people automatically are like, how old are you?
I started when you were 10. Okay, it's
I was
fine.
10 and this is my 24th year.
Yeah.
So
And then I've been selling for 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you decide to join?
It's funny.
Besides the obvious 13 years ago.
Tamara was always asking me to join up and help her in the business. Even so, there's a few years difference with us. So I was Tamara's assistant when I was 18, I think. Maybe just finished high school, and I was for a bit, or even maybe during high school. Anyway, I went to school. I went traveling for a bit, took my degree. Tamara kept throughout that time asking me to help join and
hounding was probably a better phrase.
True, actually bribing me, hounding me, threatening me. I ignored them all, and then pretty much poking me. And then when she stopped sort of asking me, it's when I thought, oh, you know what? Maybe I do want to become a realtor. So,
Which was phenomenal because she'd meanwhile gone and gotten her business degree, specializing in marketing. I had some great experience doing marketing, and I'd given up. I thought she was going to move in a different direction, but I knew she'd bring tremendous value.
So what changed in your marketing once you came aboard?
Everything.
Yeah,
we switched
revamped.
companies.
Yeah.
Well, we switched our name. So our mom and dad were realtors when I started. And they discouraged me from getting it because I was young. I was 10 years old, and they had to drive me everywhere. It was quite hard and challenging. But they so we branded as the Stone Team, and Dad did his thing, and Mom did her thing, and I did mine. But it gave me some credibility. And they retired. They were only in the business, Dad for 4 years after me, and Mom for 6, and then they retired. But I kept on as Stone Team. And it was my left hand and my right hand and me, and we were the Stone Team. And Shannon came in, and I think it was the first conference we'd gone to, and go to this conference, and everybody there was a team. I'm the Smith team and the Bob team, even if they were sort of faking it like I was when it was just me. And every single person, they still do. They, are you guys sisters? And Shannon, it was, her first kind of big kind of key change in the business. And she's like, I think we should become Stone Sisters. Yeah. And remember Dad, our dad didn't want us to do it.
No. And he also didn't want us to switch companies. Do you remember that? So we joined up, we were with a small company in Kelowna, and we were with them, maybe 6 months, and then we switched over to Remax at that point. And he just said, you're switching companies? That's the worst decision you guys could ever do.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And, now
don't go to Remax.
No.
It won't be helpful. It won't be good for you.
I won't ever put my foot in that door. I'm not helping.
Literally.
Yeah. And now he thinks it's his idea. He actually thinks making us Stone Sisters is his idea too. So
Shannon's good. Shannon is really good. We talked about it actually on the drive here from Calgary, that she's really got big picture vision for our company and our business. And something interesting that we're working on right now is we've worked so hard over the years to keep us as one person. So our clients go, well, I don't care if I get Tamara or I get Shannon. I have a Stone Sister. And now we've grown. We have 13 people, including our admin, and 5 other agents that sell. But we're differentiating us a little, and realizing that okay, a strong suit of mine is generating. Like I have no issue.
And teaching the team and sort of inspiring the team. Like Tamara has this crazy energy, and I don't know, for those of you that are around Tamara and know Tamara, she's got this vibrating energy that you can't help but get caught up in. And so it's really transporting that with the team and encouraging them and sharing that with them. And you're really good at that. So focusing a little bit more on doing that.
And Shannon's really good at big picture, at sort of zooming herself up and looking down at the business going, okay, where are our strengths, where are our weaknesses, where are the opportunities, where are the threats, and always sort of working on that. I think that's probably the big change that, we've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this a long time, Shannon too. But we're going to keep doing this for a long time. So how do we continue to evolve and
change with the industry changes and market, and keep it so that it's fun? Like, we love what we do. We love helping people and clients. Like, I love sitting down with them and negotiating that. So I mean, that's the fun part of our job, when we're also lucky we get to do that. Yeah. But there's so much more with it that we have to do as well, especially looking at it as a business. Yeah, we're not just realtors. We need to run this as a business.
So how often do you guys actively sell versus run the team?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah. You're still in there. Is there plans that either one or both will eventually stop selling, or?
We hardly work with any buyers anymore. A really good past client, a person with a ton of money, but
work directly with buyers. But
no.
That being said, we meet with the team with a buyer they have. So if a buyer comes in, the team will meet with them to find out, learn about, we find the initial meeting with them and sort of the questionnaire. That's where we find out what they're looking for, and we learn a little bit about them, and we'll often come on that first meeting with them. Yeah. And then that agent will go out and, show them the properties or what have you. We'll check in periodically with the client, with the agent. We meet weekly with our team, so we're really involved and know. But, the agents are the ones that are sort of on the ground running with those buyers. And then, we'll jump in and help with negotiating if we have to. Our team is everybody's been selling on our team for
a long time.
5, 10, 12 years.
Haven't taken new agents, as you take experience.
We have taken new agents and with zero success.
Yeah,
right.
Truly.
I think what happens, and I'm sure a lot of your viewers will be able to relate to this respectfully, and I'm sure some don't, but in our experience, you get somebody brand new. We are good generators. We get a lot of leads. We hand out a lot of business. The analogy I use a lot is mama bird and baby birds. Yeah. So the average real estate team is, you've got a bird nest and a whole bunch of baby birds. And I've got a picture that I shot a couple summers ago, and I've used it in some presentations. But the baby birds, if you've ever seen baby birds in a nest, they're quiet. You don't even see them in the nest. And then the mama bird is near. Before you see her, all the baby birds poke their heads up, and their mouths are open, and they're like, I need a worm, I need a worm. And the mama bird puts the worm right in their mouth. And it's, I need a lead. Yeah, and they can probably swallow that worm or close that lead.
Put it right in.
if you put it in their mouth. But if you put the worm on the side of the bird's nest or down on the ground or what have you, they don't. And we've probably made a mistake in the early stages of growing the team, where we didn't teach them how to go and get the worms. We just fed them worms. Then they got so good at swallowing worms, they're like, I can do this on my own. They question splits, they question the value, they go out on their own and, change the dynamics of the team. So
we look more now for experienced realtors who's gone and done it on their own, but who are really looking for that team environment. A lot of times they've played on a sports team of some kind, or, they get that. They love the brainstorming that we do together. They love the call nights that we do, or, some of the different marketing initiatives. They love the fact that they get full support. Yeah. And they get leads too, but they're good at generating and doing that on their own. So
our goal with our team is that, and we're coached, and our coach goes, wow, that's generous of you. He still thinks that we're not expecting enough, but our goal with the team is that they will generate or be responsible for generating 25% of their business, and Stone Sisters Group will give them 75%. Last year it was 92% were from us, and a little bit from the team. So it's a work in progress.
Yeah. But our team honestly is amazing. We're so lucky. It's like a family.
It's a squad. One of our team members just said that. He's like, we're a squad.
Squad goals?
Yeah. True. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So when you're bringing on an experienced agent, how do you get them to change how they were working before to kind of fit into your systems?
It is a great question. Lots of mentoring, lots of shadowing. So they come with us on CMA appointments. So when we're going to get a listing, they come with us, just watching. And then after, we've done it a few times, then they take, what does Todd call our marketing book? Like,
he calls it the Bible. He calls it the golden book. So he takes that onto a listing appointment. He's like, this, it was funny because I met with him in the office and he said, well, we need to get this out there. I'm like, need to get what out there? I don't know what you're talking about. He's like this book. And he paused and he's like, the marketing book, it's amazing. And I thought, it's just so neat. He's been selling real estate for 12 years.
Yeah.
And he comes into our team and just loves the support. And he's just so excited to get it out there and go get his own business with that.
And it's cool because he brings a tremendous skill set, like all of our agents.
Yeah.
They come in with their personality. So they don't have to be clones of us. We'd like them to be. We want them all in white.
Shave their legs.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah. But they come in with their personalities, and particularly when it's somebody that they've found. So they'll work with their client, and then they go, and benefit of being with Stone Sisters Group is this. And so they promote it or sell it, if you will, I think even better than we can.
Well, I think it's sometimes easier to sell something that it's not you. Like, I think that's something hard in our business. We're not selling a product where you can sit and go, this is the best beer there possibly is out there. I mean, it's so good. It's both. Actually, this is the best beer. It's way better than both of yours. But,
you can try it right after.
But it's easy when you can sell a product because it's not you. Mm-hmm. When all of a sudden you're like, pick me, I'm the best, because it's different. It changes. Yeah. So when you're suddenly on a team, it's kind of almost like a product in a way. Mm-hmm. So
just making sure we're all in the shot there.
Are we on the shot?
Yeah. No, you're good. I was looking.
That's why I sat in the middle. That's just why I picked this chair.
All the attention on me.
So anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm in it.
Yeah. Just cutting her out is
Did I tell you guys I slowly get pushed over this way? So anyway,
come on, guys.
So we're lucky. Yeah, it's good. But going back to your question, because we sort of got a little bit off there, sorry. But, learning and how do they kind of learn when they've come with 12 years of experience and doing it their way? How do they learn our way? And it's just being beside us, being in the office, hearing us on the phone, listening, shadowing, learning our systems. We have a policy and procedure manual. They get that first day. They have to read through all of that. We have scripts in there. We do. We test them. They have to get 85% or they're off.
We're kind. We're compassionate with what we're saying to the team or how we're mentoring and talking to them. But even subtle things, I don't in an email. I don't like it if you say, hey. Hey, Andrew. And first time, or if it's a lead from us, hey, Andrew, great to meet you the other day. I'm like, we don't actually say, hey. There is a formality in an evaluation that we'd rather that you say, hello, and, sign it off with a bit of formality. And they learn.
They CC us on their emails at first, so that we can sort of see that. And all of our evaluations, we have a set evaluation template that goes out that's an email that they fill in and personalize it or what have you. But it's... so it is all consistent. And I think that's a huge thing in anything that you do, is you want to make sure that your brand from start to finish is consistent. So we make sure that everything is consistent all the way through.
So if you're generating like 92% of their business, where's that business coming from?
We're fortunate. Kelowna is quite a small town, so we're 130,000 people, including surrounding areas. Because we've been around a long time, we do have good brand recognition. So we have a lot of listings. We have a lot of signs out there. We have a billboard that has been working brilliantly for us. Yeah. We took it down 13 years ago, but people still see it every day.
I had somebody here at the conference that came and said, I knew you guys were in Kelowna. I should have looked you up when I was there in the summer, but I drove past your billboard and I thought I should call you. I'm like, yeah, our billboard.
And we don't have our pictures on our signs, but we have 68 listings right now. So, we have a lot of people that come in. We're old school. We do no print advertising, but we do a newsletter. We do farm and area, do real marketing.
Yeah, the real marketing. We find that's been really good for us. And then we've designed our own as well. So our own flyer that goes out. And
then we do a postcard campaign. So that's probably the secret of us. Anybody watching from Kelowna will be like, yes, now I know. But we pick areas that people are moving to. Kelowna attracts a lot of people. Yeah, moving from. So Vancouver, Edmonton, Toronto, Calgary, and market our properties to them. And that generates a lot of inquiries and buyer leads.
So how are you handling, do you have ISAs in-house? How are you handling the volume?
We kind of do. We have a gal who, we hired her as an ISA, but she's not great on the phone. You know, she's just, I think she was selling for a long time. I think, how long has she sold for?
35 years.
Wow.
And it's
Incredibly knowledgeable.
oh my gosh, like you have any questions about the legalities or contracts, she knows the answer. So it's so handy to have her and have her knowledge base. But she doesn't love, I don't think, picking up the phone and cold calling. It's just not in her nature. So we've kind of shifted her position more to a buyer manager. So any leads that come in, she sort of manages them and keeps track of them. But we don't have somebody that's out there cold calling and attracting leads in that way as an ISA. But we do have somebody that manages the leads once we get them in. So,
And how long is it taking to train on handling that? Because I know a lot of teams struggle with training an ISA to respond to leads.
we're still training.
Oh.
It's ongoing.
Yeah. I think, now that we figured out the gal that we'd hired thinking she would be, inside sales, that wasn't her forte. She's certainly got a great skill set that has value on the team, but it's not that. So as the dust has sort of settled, as we've, moved people around and we're constantly moving people around, the admin and just going, okay, you're really good here. Joy is so good on the phone. She'll talk your ear off. If you phone our office, you'll get Joy, whose name is actually Shannon, but we couldn't have another Shannon.
You look like a Joy to me now.
Her middle name is Joyce, so it's okay.
But it's so fitting because she makes everybody happy. She'll talk for way longer than she probably should, but she really builds rapport, makes people feel great. So Joy has got that role and cultivates that. And, are we ready now for a true inside sales and to actually work this property? 100%. How do you find the right person? You should move to Kelowna. Or anyone who would like to move to Kelowna.
I would
Not that you actually have to live in Kelowna, but
No, that's true.
Well, what percentage is like vacation properties in Kelowna versus like people live there all year? Or is that much?
it's shifting.
It's shifting. 20% of our buyers last year, not necessarily ours, our percentage is higher, but 20% of our board's buyers last year were from Vancouver. So, still 51%, I think it was roughly, were still buyers moving within the Kelowna area. So that's predominantly most of the buyers. Because we do all this out-of-town marketing, we do tend to work with more out-of-town buyers. With the new rules that have come into place, new taxation, speculation tax that have come.
At the end of dual agency, British Columbia, you can't represent a buyer and a seller anymore.
Yeah. So we're seeing some of those changes as the vacation buyers coming. They're not, jumping on board to buy as much as they were. So it's shifted and changed, but we're still getting lots of people from out of town coming, but they're more moving to Kelowna. Kelowna is affordable compared to Vancouver pricing. And we have an international airport. We've got, there's a lot of
Hospital, university. We've got some key anchors that I think are helping people.
high-tech industry.
So if you guys have like 68 listings right now, you must have buyers that you've signed interested in one of those listings.
Yes.
How do you handle that if you can't do dual agency?
Oh, it's such a pain. Anyway.
So honestly, it's and where we're really finding it's coming into play is in our luxury segment. So
Yes.
our average price point in Kelowna is about $620, $640, and then our average listing right now is hovering right around $1 million. And today, right this minute, we have 3 expensive listings between 1 and 3 million, because one's very expensive. And we have buyers that our team members are working with that are interested in our listings.
So you have to technically refer that client out, which we do. So we refer it to somebody else at Remax, and they can write the contract
So it
for
can be
them.
within the same brokerage.
Which within the same brokerage just can't be on our team.
Yeah.
Still, it's a pain. Like really, it's funny because when the new rules came out, we thought, oh, you know what, it's fine. It's not really going to affect us much because we only did 7%.
In 2017, 7% of our listings were double-ended. Were sold within house, and last year it was 14%. The rules came into effect in June. This year it's
already it's
18%. Just as an example, we're listing a townhome development, or we've listed it. It'll hit the market in 2 weeks. 20 townhomes, really, really good value. Sort of a given. I'd like to think that we could bring the buyers for half
Yeah.
And now we can't. So we've got we've got somebody at the office. You can't have one.
Yeah.
It has to be someone the buyer chooses. Of course, they could choose their own. But you say, we can't represent you. You have to disclose it straight away and say, here are, a couple people in the office that we have an affiliation with, and they'll help. So,
Makes sense.
but it hasn't been easy.
Yeah,
No, it's not. And they say that could, go across all of Canada eventually.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because I know like they're opening up in Ontario.
Yep.
Kind of like everything there to see what they can do.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're and I understand and respect it. They want to protect the best interests of the public, and we're all in favor of that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of what's happening is that because you can't have a party that's got dual representation, the buyers are often choosing no representation. So, so there's talk that they're actually going to change it back or modify it again because so many people are choosing to be unrepresented. Bring more beer. No.
We have enough.
I have to pace myself. I got a scooter.
It's okay, so you don't have to walk.
Ooh, good point.
I think actually I just want to make record. I'm the one that's drinking the most now.
But if you fill up from the rest, because normally a full can doesn't fit in.
Oh.
Rookies. Now who has more?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you're right.
Wow, I have the most. I have the most.
They start drinking.
Yeah. Chug, chug, chug. So now it's our turn to talk.
You just keep drinking there, sweetheart. Here you go. Has anyone spit beer out on your
Anyway,
shoulder?
as I was saying.
We can pick up one of these.
See, normally I can kick her, but now I can't with a broken foot.
She's got one good one.
That's right, I can still kick you.
I'll just pass
Watch
it.
out, sister.
I have a little sleep here.
Yeah. That was me after filming 4, because we did a couple beers on the episodes too. So I think I was 5 at beers deep before we finished. So
Oh my gosh.
it was a good day.
It was a good day.
Then we went out
just
for
to say.
dinner and had more.
Oh, nice. That's how it
that
should
was
be.
It's a good life.
Yeah. And then from here straight to New York for Inman and
Oh, that'll be good.
yeah. Have you been to Inman before?
No, I'd love to though. I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, it's so like if it's your first, the content's always good. Like I find some of the content gets repetitive year over year.
Okay.
So like first time will be awesome.
Yeah.
And then but the networking's awesome. Like
And,
that's where.
And how long is it for? So you'll
3
go-
days, right?
It's Monday to Friday. But
it is?
there's
Yeah, I
not
thought
every
so.
day is like you have to be. So like the Monday, like they changed. I think this year it's called like Hacker Connect. So it's for like the serious tech geeks.
Yeah.
Like the developers at companies and like
Yeah.
serious tech geeks that
Okay.
day. Tuesday's like officially a free day. So it's kind of like a traditional conference, like just panels and talks and stuff, a little bit smaller. And then like the Wednesday and Thursday are like the main hardcore Inman days.
Wow.
Most people don't go to the Friday, but they're trying to get people to
come.
stick around, but most people just leave. Because like Thursday's like the big party night.
Wow.
So,
Okay,
it
gotcha.
gets, that's why like if you're in New York City, all the vendors do these big open bar parties at cool venues across. Like
And is it always in New York?
so every January it's New York City,
Yeah.
and then every July, August has always been San Fran.
Right.
They just moved it to Vegas for this coming year, so
Oh.
it'll be Vegas.
So
And
I'd
when
rather
is it?
do New York.
I'm like, I'd rather
Yeah,
Vegas.
July and
Shocking.
Vegas. July and Vegas will be warm.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
I feel like they should switch. I'd rather go to Vegas in January
Yes.
and then New York in July.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. But I guess I'm also assuming that that's also why they do it, because it's cheaper to do New York in January.
Yeah.
Of course.
And
I'm sure, yeah.
But who knows? Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, and then normally though, well, because it was in San Fran, that was the Tech Year conference.
Yeah.
So a little bit more on the tech side.
Right.
Well, I was speaking of tech side. I was impressed this morning listening to the president of Korea talk about. She did a a quick session on what's coming and what Korea is trying to do to keep us relevant and to keep the public needing us or to help us stay on top of things. And they had that. It wasn't hackers. I can't remember what they called it, but they
Hacker Connect or
Yeah, it was
Hackathon. That
Hackathon,
was
yeah.
the one,
And they brought in, well, they actually invited, and people paid their own way. They had 80, techie people come and look at how to make Realtor.ca even more powerful and relevant. And the change is coming, and that collaboration that I think Canada has, which is incredibly valuable and helpful to keep us, on top of it, versus the US that is a fragmented, association of boards or industry, and I think Zillow I'm sure we've got some Zillow people watching, and I know Zillow is here, but
And they will be on the show at some point.
yeah, of
Yes,
course,
of
you've
course.
got to.
Yeah.
But it's, myself, I don't know if I should say that or not, but
Of course you should. Yeah.
I'm not in favor of it. I mean, I think we have to protect what we're doing. I struggle with, and I did some coaching with American clients. So I had a few people that I coached in the US paying thousands of dollars a month to rank, to be a premier agent on Zillow, and then they would be granted the leads on their own listing. So the business they go get, then they pay to get these leads back on their listings.
So on their own listings, it's supposed to be you just get your leads.
But it
But, like,
hasn't worked that way, I
list.
guess, in the States. It's supposed to be that way, and that's
well,
how I
they
think.
show like the listing, every listing agent, because I looked into it a lot, like every
Okay.
listing agent gets their name at the top,
Right.
but even on your own listing, they'll still show premier agents.
Yes.
So,
Well, your name is
Yeah.
tiny.
yeah, like the premier agents stand out
Yeah.
more.
Oh,
But I mean, that's
yeah.
how they make their revenue, so.
Okay, and I
Yeah.
understand it, and I see. I mean, truly, we all have to, regardless of the business we're in, we have to do what's best for
Yeah.
the consumer, what the public wants.
But I guess in BC with the no dual agency, that almost works because now I guess like they have to contact a buyer rep.
Yeah, I mean,
But
we
you don't.
show
Yeah.
we show our listings.
Yeah.
We, how we're dealing with the changes is somebody phones off a sign or off Realtor.ca or off one of the upcoming Facebook ads that you're going to help us create that are going to crush it, and we'll meet them, show them the home. We explain to them that we're a representative of the seller.
So do you sign the customers? Because I know in Ontario, it's you sign it as a client or a customer.
You have
Is that
to.
what you do?
Well, you can't
Unrepresented.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So-
represented or unrepresented. So they changed the wording when we had the new rules come into effect. But so we'll walk them through a house, and you don't have to have them sign, but you have to have the conversation with them.
Yeah.
So they phone, you say no problem, we can absolutely show you this home. Just so you know, I'm a representative of the seller,
Yeah.
and I can walk you through the home. I can give you any information that's on MLS. I can tell you square footage or number of bedrooms or any of that. And if you decide to like this home, perfect. I can keep you as unrepresented and give you the contract, and you can fill it out, or you can then solicit your own realtor to help you write that contract, or a lawyer, or what have you. However, if you don't like this home, then I can represent you.
Yeah.
And holding an open house, which I don't hold many open houses, but one of our agents on our team was sick, and I had to go and host his open house that was advertised.
Yeah.
And went through. It was interesting going through and having people walk into the door, and you have a sign that's there, not so obvious that they're offended,
Yeah.
but stating that you're a representative of the seller, and that's sort of what you say when they walk through the door, and you explain the house and say, but I'm here representing the seller. And I had people walk through and they're like, that's great. So, we don't really like this house. This is not the house for us. So we just want to be clear, but we like working, we like your team, and we like what you guys will offer. So we'd like to work with you. At that point, then you can sign them.
Well,
So-
you had that from that open house. So these people, there was a big sort of bonanza of open houses going on as our market has softened, because open houses were not as popular. There weren't as many happening, and now things are a bit slower in our town, and there are more open houses. So there was a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
There were a number of open houses. These people saw a house with a listing realtor who said, stop, so I can't tell you anything.
I think they actually had a post on the door. It's like, before you enter, and it had a big cross on it.
And everybody's figuring out how to deal with this. Yeah. And then they went and met Shannon and said, we don't like this house, but we saw one we did like. Could you help us buy it?
Yeah.
And she did.
Yeah.
That works.
So it works.
Yeah.
It works.
But you can work around it. When I look at the model of Zillow and, going back to that, I sort of think, does it help us and does that work? You still get those leads that come in and look at your listing, but you can still get them as a client, because the chances that they're going to like that property on the first look around is pretty slim. We're finding with our clients, it's people that we've been looking at houses, for days or weeks, and then they circle back around and end up liking one of our listings.
Yes.
Yeah. We run a ton of listing ads for clients because listings are the easiest way to get leads.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Every
Rarely do they
listing
buy
should
that
turn into a
house.
buyer lead.
Very
Yeah.
rarely is a buyer
Rarely.
lead.
And that's
Yeah.
what we say to the team, because one of our team members was frustrated, I think, just with these rules, and she has sold for a few years, and she just went, I keep running into a brick wall. Like I want to help these people, but if they're calling on this, how do I help them? And I said, I think you're going about it in the wrong way. I think you're looking at it that these people, I know, it's my scooter. It's my little scooter. But can I move my chair in front again? No.
You come back into the show.
Thanks. But they, we said your goal is not to sell the people that house, whether it's an open house, whether it's a sign call, whether it's a Facebook lead or what have you. Your goal is to connect well with people, show them that you can
Show
bring
your
value.
Like show the value, give them something, not something for free, but give them information.
Mm-hmm. That somebody else won't. Show them, you tell the story, you give examples, you connect with them where they go, okay, I want her negotiating on my side.
And I think that's what's actually a nice key with the changes of the rules. So many realtors now, and it might be something, as a good little tidbit, so many realtors now are scared with these new rules, which I get. It is scary. You're being told that there's secret shoppers out there that are trying to just, find someone to feed them, and that sort of stuff. So it's intimidating. But I think if you look at it from the other approach, it's a great time to become that warm, convert that warm lead, because everybody else is saying, no, forget it.
Yeah, it's opportunity.
It is an opportunity.
Oh,
every time there's some kind of
time.
challenge, there's an opportunity. So you just have to find where that opportunity is and make it work.
So if you focus a lot on the big picture stuff, where do you kind of look at with all the stuff coming into the industry, you guys, like 5 years from now, how will that look differently?
Well,
are you going to say it?